Alright, I think I'm streaming now here. Um, just kind of wanted to go over a Necro build that I am currently running for the beta. I think the beta is super subject to change, so I don't think that this necessarily will be um, endgame plow worthy, so to speak. But as of right now, you run golems, and you run a golem that uh, it sheds uh, a corpse. So this build's all about like making as many corpses as possible, right? So you're gonna use Race Skeleton with Reapers, so they can cleave extra corpses out for you. I like using mages with the cold, so that way there's the occasional vulnerability. It's guaranteed to at least be single target vulnerability. So no matter what I'm doing, there should be vulnerability on the enemy I'm going after, right? Um, you run that. I like running Decompose just because for boss fights you may not have as many corpses as possible. Uh, and then on Blood Mist, I run the leaves behind a corpse every 1 second as a modifier to it. Um, I cannot conclude that Corpse Explosion does indeed um, scale this aspect of damage. Um, I've been using this. I found it on a totem at level 9. Pretty much when you first found your first legendary, I haven't changed off of it. I used a one-handed build with that offhand source uh, and focus, I should say. I ran that for the longest time. I didn't even need to upgrade my damage on my main character, and it still wiped the entire board in single player. So obviously you're going to need an item like this. The better run is that it's on a two-hander. So on a two-hander, you can at least get around 2 seconds per corpse. So you can almost get it around to just using the ability, dropping the corpses that are behind you, and having this pretty much on cooldown. With 2.6 seconds, it's a very high roll. It can roll up to 3. With that roll, it's extremely strong, and then it completely, like, it's like 3 or 4 corpses, and I can use the ability again. During the ability, you're obviously unstoppable, you're untargetable, you don't even take damage, and it actually leeches life for you. So the ability is super strong. It's very well used. I personally like using that to do a lot of clearing of trash mobs. Um, I like running this here. This is nice. It's not really for the damage aspect of it, but it's the movement speed debuff that you get when you're in Blood Mist. This removes it entirely, right? Um, I also use this. It's consuming a corpse increases your damage of your next core skill by 11% up to 53. So there's a ton of damage after coming out of using the ability to run everything down, right? So you run everything down, you come out of that. I like running Bone Spear as a primary right click ability here because you run that with this ring here, you can if you don't kill the champion or the elite with Blood Mist, it's a single right click and boom, like you're gonna hit for like 2,000 damage plus on Bone Spear. Uh, and this will scale, I think, with items get better in the game. Um, so a lot of it really kind of comes down to um, really I don't use a whole lot of really good aspects on my stuff here. This isn't the greatest yet. I mean, obviously here this is great. Consuming a corpse has a 22% chance to leave a blood orb, which just heals you anyway. So I haven't used a potion since level 9 with this build. I think that's a little bit broken. I think that that does not help you whatsoever. This helmet also could be better. I would much rather have skeletal warriors than mages here because then I'd have more reapers, and more reapers means more corpses on the ground. So that's what I would prefer to do more so. So as of right now, like the good part of this is that I did find a really good scythe to put this on here, and I mean this gives me 68 to intelligence, so there is a ton of damage coming out just from the low level gear that exists within this beta right now. So as we show some of the gameplay here, and just grab some of these corpses, like at a certain point, the trash mobs are so weak that when it leaves a corpse behind with Blood Mist, you can just run everything else down. So like right now, see a Blood Mist ran out of corpses, right click, Bone Spear kills them. Same thing will go for this guy here. As soon as I'm out of this, and you just right click and Bone Spear just does the rest of the work for you. So there's a lot of a lot less things in here. I'm gonna go over the skills just a little bit here. Obviously we use Decompose. I just like slowing enemies here. I don't really think this is really imperative, having this one. Um, Bone Spear is fantastic. I decided just to put 5 points into it, just so it has, I don't have a perk on it or anything like that. It's not, I think, necessary once you find the ring to really have to get to this aspect, right? So, or this perk or this modifier here, because if you have the ring, things make it vulnerable anyway, so it kind of replaces it. So you can just put 5 rock stats on that. I use this because the best thing you can do in this build is stack lucky hit, and then when you hit people, you can have a chance to getting a corpse that pops up um, for you, which is really nice. I maxed out Blood Mist, and then I use the perk that a corpse gets left behind every second. Corpse Explosion, I haven't, I'm kind of testing it right now to see if Corpse Explosion scales with the aspect right now. Um, if it has anything to do with it, maybe it's just increasing the radius of explosions and stuff like that, which is great. I do have this maxed out, so it's basically when you use the ability, you are guaranteed to have a full bar of essence after you are done using the ability. Um, After that, I honestly haven't used much. There is a good aspect for like the blood wave. It does like there's some good stuff on there for amulets and things like that. So just to kind of give this a little bit of a structure and understanding of how the build operates, it's pretty versatile, given that your single target damage isn't removed because you don't need a corpse to use Bone Sphere, right? And you can use it to create corpses from a distance, and it's super strong that way. Um, and it's just like I've done some min-maxing. I've put a few hours into the game itself, but I do believe that um, this is probably the strongest character in the beta right now. This build does nothing beats this build right now, and it just makes short work of every elite you come across. It kills all of their minions around the area. It's a super tanky build. I mean, my armor is kind of through the roof. It's like 2,000 right now, which is pretty high, I think, for the beta. Just to level 25 anyway. Um, but other than that, I've pretty thoroughly enjoyed playing this character. I wouldn't say it's exactly a boss to leader yet. I mean, I haven't really given it a try with Decompose on and also maxing out Corpse Explosion. I was using a lot, I was using the Corpse Tendrils to pull everything into the corpses, and then you'd blow them all up that way, so it's kind of like a way to do it that way as well. But like, as you can see how much damage this does. This is just silly, you know, like guarantees, like it's already up, like this is stupid, I could just cast it right away. This is silly. When you have that aspect on the weapon and you have so much of their cooldown reduction on it, it's crazy. See, look at that. No damage taken. I can just walk in there, like no harm, no fall. And as you can tell, I have not upgraded my potions. I'm still on tiny healing potions because there's not really a need to use any potions with this build, which is kind of what makes it really broken. So I'll just kind of go through here. This is gonna be not like a long stream, but I'm just making a video on how the Necro works for people that are interested, or what builds seem to work the best right now. Because this one takes the best of both worlds. A lot of people like Bone Sphere, and a lot of people like this Blood Mist thing, and I don't think anybody's really done a good job figuring out how to combine them both to just have a character that has single target rundown damage and AoE clear that's the strongest in the game right now. I mean, that's stupid, right? I mean, 2 Bone Spears actually just killed that guy, so I don't even need Blood Mist to kill elites. Like, there's so many options with this character that destroys everything in front of you. One of the most casual. I would assume this is going to get nerfed. I won't lie. And I'm also not going to judge this the beta just because there is some extremely imbalance between the character classes right now. A lot of people like to say it's sorceress with chain lightning. I think chain lightning runs second to this because I don't think anything is this easy. I'm playing with one hand and nothing more. I just have my buttons on my mouse and my keyboard. or on my mouse. So it is definitely one of those types of builds that is going to be good. So we'll test it on this here. Decompose, get corpses built up. And I mean, yeah, this is just ridiculous. It's already gone. So this is how good the Necro is with Blood Mist, and I think that it'd be smart to figure out how to get Bone Spear included in there, just because you have single target damage and essentially infinite essence with this build, as long as you run uh, this passive here, where consuming a corpse generates 9 essence in Grim Harvest. So that would be it. Hope you guys have a good day, and come on back for more D4 content.